morning, honored guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I have great pleasure in welcoming you to the University of Nottingham, Malaysia's graduation ceremony. I hope that you will enjoy this day. Also at today's ceremony, it gives us great pleasure to confer the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws to Yang Berbahagia Dato' Afifi Al-Akiti. As this is a formal occasion, may I seek your kind cooperation in ensuring order and smooth running of this ceremony with the following. Please ensure that all mobile phones are either switched off or in silent mode throughout the ceremony. Please remain in your seats during the ceremony, and please note that photography is permitted during the ceremony but only from your seats. At the end of the ceremony, after the members of the platform have left the hall, all students are required to follow the procession out of this hall and allow the photographers to organize the group photography. All other guests kindly remain in your seats until further notice. Guests are also cordially invited to join the officers of the university, staff and graduates for buffet reception, which will be served in the marquee at the Academic Plaza outside this building. Our ushers will be on hand to direct you accordingly. Thank you for your kind attention. Honored guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, may I please ask you to kindly rise for the entry of the procession.
Good morning. Yang Bahagia Dato Zainal Abidin bin Haji Hamid, Board Member of the University of Nottingham in Malaysia, Saran Bahad. Yang Bahagia Dato Dr. Afifi Al-Fiti, Professor Fong Sim Ong, Vice Provost for Teaching and Learning, Professor Deborah Paul, Vice Provost for Research and Knowledge Exchange, distinguished guest, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I declare this congregation open for the conferment of degrees and the award of diplomas. It is my honour to welcome you to this graduation of the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. It gives me great pleasure to be with you all here today. The University of Nottingham in Malaysia opened in 2000, so we've been here 18 years. And next month we celebrate our 18th year in Nottingham, in Malaysia. And we're very happy that that coincides on the 8th month in 2018. We'll have been here 18 years. And we like to think that that brings us even more luck than we have already. So if you follow us on social media, please keep up to date with us next month as we celebrate those 18 years here. We've got 5,000 students at the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. That complements about 8,000 in our campus in Ningbo and about 33,000 in the UK. So we've got about 43,000 students worldwide, 5,000 here. We're carrying out graduation ceremonies over the next 3 days, and by the end of Monday, our registered students will be down to about 4,100. We've got about 900 students graduating. We really hope that we get up to 5,000 students in September, but that's another challenge that we need to face over the coming months. We are the first UK university to open in Malaysia, the first foreign branch campus. Others have come since then. There's another 4K universities here. There's 3 Australian universities. There's Chinese university. We're very proud that we're the first UK university in Malaysia. And I hope you agree, or you will agree later on if you've not looked at the campus. Please have a wander around the campus. We think it's a beautiful, spectacular campus. Please take the opportunity to explore it. Where you're sitting now is actually the Trent Building, and it's called the Trent Building because each of our campuses has a Trent Building, the one in the UK, the one in China, and the one here. And the Trent Building is named after Jessie Boo, who donated the first piece of land to the University of Nottingham back in 1928. He headed up the Boots Company, and he was, in 1929, he became the Lord Baron Trent, and actually the Trent Building is named after Jessie Boo, Baron of Trent, as opposed to the Trent River, which flows through Nottingham in the UK. So we all have a Trent Building, we all have a lake. And they're the 2 pictures that I hope you capture on your celebrations later on. You need a picture of yourself with the Trent Building, and you need a picture of yourself with the lake, because they're the iconic features of the University of Nottingham. But I also challenge you to walk around the campus and look for pictures that other people don't get. So the one picture I've been talking about recently on social media that maybe you want to try and get is that we've got a big Nottingham sign at the back of our student association building with a bridge, and I'd love to see lots of pictures of students on that bridge with their friends and family, because I think that's a picture which is becoming iconic and associated with our campus here. And I know of one student who has actually visited all 3 campuses and had pictures taken of all 3 Trent buildings, and I put that as a challenge to you. As you travel the world and take up future adventures, if you're ever in Nottingham, UK, if you're ever in China, in Ningbo, then please go and take a picture of yourself in the Trent Building in those locations. But graduation is more than just getting pictures and celebrating with friends and family. I suspect over the last few months you've all wondered what you're going to do next. Many of you will go on to higher education or further education, but some of you will go into the world of work, and the world of work is undoubtedly changing. I've been around long enough to have seen some changes. There's many other changes going on. There's a statistic out there that 63% of students who are in primary school, the jobs that they will go into haven't been invented yet. And that's to me, that's quite frightening. To you should see it as an opportunity rather than be scared of it. But a few years ago, who had heard of things like search engine optimization manager, social media manager, artificial intelligence ethics officer? Those sort of jobs didn't exist 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They exist now. But there's many other jobs which are coming up, which haven't been invented yet. Graham Wood, back in 2009, said, "Change has never happened this fast before, and it will never be this slow again." And I find that quite profound. That was in 2009, so that's nearly 10 years ago. And change is happening on a frightening pace, but it's not going to slow down. And what part of your role as you enter into the world of work or further education is to take up those challenges and make sure that not only yourself keeps up with that pace of change, but also everybody you work with, the challenges with you. I think I can just about cope with it because I've not got that long to go before I can actually sit down and watch the change rather than have to manage it. So there's a challenge out there about what are you going to be doing in 20 years' time, what job will you be doing, many of which won't have been invented yet. But companies are also changing. The average lifetime of a Fortune 500 company in 1955 was 75 years. So you could go and work for a Fortune 500 company, and if you wanted to stay there, have an expectation that you would actually be there for life. Today, the average life of a Fortune 500 company is 15 years. So if you go and work for a Fortune 500 company today, that company is probably not going to exist in 15 years' time. So unlike many people, your parents and grandparents, who had a job for life and stayed within one company, that is very unlikely to happen to you. So one of the challenges that you face as you enter the world of work is to be flexible and adaptive and find ways of navigating that workspace, which probably people in my generation didn't have to do. And just to give you a couple of examples from how things have changed. The first industrial revolution was really driven by steam mechanisation. And that actually put people out of work. Nottingham was not new to that. There was a big lace industry in Nottingham, people sitting around making lace, and mechanisation took away a lot of their jobs. The second industrial revolution, where electricity and mass production came into play, also changed the world in which we live. The third industrial revolution, the IT age and automation, has certainly changed. And we're now in the middle of, or maybe at the start of, the fourth industrial revolution. And that's really marked by the physical and the digital worlds merging together. So there are instances now of things like augmented reality, where you don't really know whether you're in the physical world or whether you're in the digital world. And with artificial intelligence, machine learning, adaptive technologies, that's only going to change. So I would guess that in 20 years' time, some people would struggle to say whether they're in the physical world or the digital world, because they would have merged so much. So change is not without its casualties. Everybody is wondering about how AI and machine learning is going to change the world. And is everyone going to be out of a job as we get more robotics and more artificial intelligence? There was a survey out the other day that said that's not going to happen. There's actually going to be more jobs created. But no one really knows yet. So it's just another example of how change happens. Paul Rennie, who's the UK Deputy High Commissioner to Malaysia, recently spoke, it's probably a couple of years ago now, and he gives a great story about the train of the stagecoach operators, which was in place for hundreds of years. And they got replaced by the train system. It wasn't the stage operators that took over the trains, it was totally different people. And the stage operators all went out of business. And education has that challenge ahead of it, I believe. If you look at things like Uber, Airbnb, Facebook, biggest hotel providers in the world, biggest taxi provider in the world, biggest content provider in the world, they don't own hotels, taxis, or create any content. They're the biggest of their kind. At the moment, the biggest universities in the world, or the oldest universities in the world, are here. But I would unless we're very careful, we'll be like the stagecoach operators. Something will come along which will disrupt the educational industry and give us, and the largest university in the world may not, in 10 years' time, the largest university in the world may not exist yet, in the same way that Airbnb, Facebook, and things like Alibaba didn't exist 10 years ago. So I think it's an example from my own industry, from the education industry, where things haven't yet changed, but they will change. And as universities, we have to be reactive to that. And as you go out into the world of work, you also have to be reactive to that and be able to cope with that change. So I'll talk a bit more about how you might be able to do that as some closing remarks at the end. But for today, please enjoy today. Today is a day of celebration. It is a formal event. I have to say certain words so that otherwise you don't have a degree at the end of it. So I'm very careful that I say those words. But it is a formal event, but it is also a day of celebration. So enjoy all across the stage. We've seen everything that can happen across the stage, so don't worry about it. If something happens, we will have seen it before. And if we haven't, you'll make social media history, I think. You'll go viral. But don't worry about it. Walk across the stage. Don't rush. Just walk across and enjoy the time. And please smile. You're going to get a picture with me and a picture with the Vice Provost as they hand you the scroll. And you'll get to look at the camera, and please smile, because we don't want to send you the pictures where you see the pictures and you've got a frown on your face. We try and smile on everyone. You know, we're quite good at that, we hope. But please enjoy yourself. So please enjoy yourself as you cross the stage. This is a day of celebration. To you, as you move from graduates to graduates, we congratulate you. And we also congratulate all the friends and family here that are supporting you as you make that transition. Thank you. I'm now pleased to invite Vice Provost for Teaching and Learning of Nottingham, Malaysia, Professor Ong Vong Sim, to address you. Professor Ong.
Professor Graham Candle, Pro-Vice-Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Provost and CEO of the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Zainal Abidin bin Haji Ahmad, Board Member of the University of Nottingham in Malaysia, Sendirian Berhad, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Afifi Akiti, Professor Deborah Hall, Vice Provost for Research and Knowledge Exchange, distinguished guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be standing here before you today at your graduation ceremony. I want to tell you a snippet from my life. It is not a big deal, but had I not taken the decision to return to the university, I would not be standing here before you today. I took a slightly different route. I was a matured student, but with the same purpose, hoping to get a well-paid job. For the millennials today, besides hoping for a well-paid job, I think I will have to add to chase a dream. Nothing wrong with chasing dreams, for it is only if you dare to dream that your dreams will come true. Education has transformed my life, and I'm sure it will transform yours, for all of us know that education has the ability to transform lives. The education you receive up to this point can only provide you the foundation for you to build your career. It is up to you to take full advantage of the opportunities that graduating from University of Nottingham presents. The Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." So you are now on another journey, having just completed the previous one. In life, there are many important markers, or what I call the life events. Graduation is just one of them. You have many more miles to go and many more life's events to encounter. At each step, please pause and ask yourself, do I love what I do? With passion, we can overcome hurdles and difficulties. When Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the company that he started, at the age of 30 years old, he was devastated. But he loved what he did. So he started Next, and Toy Story was created. Years later, Apple bought Next, and Steve Jobs returned to Apple. Now, you might already know this story, but I would like you to look beyond it and to understand the deeper meaning of life. You chose the University of Nottingham, some of you just a year ago, some 3 and 4, and some of you may even have been here longer. You have spent some of your most formative years in this university. We hope that we, especially my colleagues, who are represented on stage, have helped you to take your first steps in your journey, and that you are now able to stand on your own feet to begin the next journey in life. Let me assure you that you have chosen one of the finest universities, the University of Nottingham. The University of Nottingham is ranked in the top 100 universities in the world, placing it in the top 1% of all universities. The University of Nottingham continues to play a leading role in the internationalization of higher education. Our UK campus can be traced back to 1881. University of Nottingham is the first British university to establish in Malaysia. So as you heard from the provost just now, we have been here for 18 years. Our campus in China celebrates its 13th anniversary this year. And around 25% of the university students now study in either China or Malaysia. So Nottingham is truly distinctive and is focused on global reach. And wherever you are in the world, you will never be far away from somebody who has studied at the University of Nottingham. Each year, the university makes a number of awards. So we would like to recognize some of these award winners. First, the Lord Deering Award. The Lord Deering Award scheme, which is held annually, has been running since 1999 and is overseen by the Education and Student Experience Board. The award recognizes the outstanding achievements of the University of Nottingham staff in enhancing the student experience and is awarded to staff from a range of groups, many of whom have been nominated by the students they teach or support. A Deering Award is highly valued within the university and acknowledges the world-class input of staff, which is on the one hand supportive and nurturing, but on the other challenging, creative and innovative. So the following staff from the Malaysia campus is being given the Lord Deering Award in this ceremony. From the Students Association, Mr. Gerard Aloysius Francis. Second, the Vice Chancellor's Medal Award. The Vice Chancellor's Medal was introduced in 2015, was a continuation from the success of the Vice Chancellor's Achievements Awards. The medal is for the recognition of exceptional achievements by staff or students of the university. Any current member of staff or current student at any of the university's campuses in China, Malaysia or the UK may be nominated. The criteria for the award includes exceptional achievement in any arena, notable endeavor which has made a difference to the university, a substantive contribution which has enhanced the reputation of the University of Nottingham, an activity which has made a noticeably positive impact on students, staff, or the local community. The following student from the Malaysia campus has been awarded the Vice Chancellor Medal Award. Bachelor of Science Honours, International Business Management, Afrin Fatima Pawais Ahmad. The Nottingham Advantage Award. The Nottingham Advantage Award is designed to give formal recognition to student involvement in activities outside their academic program and is intended to increase their employability and add value to their overall experience at the University of Nottingham. Students must demonstrate significant achievement by undertaking a range of activities which could include volunteering, work experience, study abroad, language learning, enterprise projects, career planning, and activities supported by the Students' Association. Names of recipients are listed in the special award page of the graduation booklet. Next, the Vice Chancellor Global Graduate Prize. In addition to completing modules for the Nottingham Advantage Award, students on all three campuses are able to compete for the Vice Chancellor's Global Award Prize. This prize, supported by the Vice Chancellor, recognizes an individual student from his or her global graduate attributes. This year, the winner of the award is from the Malaysia campus. Congratulations to Fernie Chin Pei Lin, graduating this year in Finance, Accounting and Management. Before I conclude, as a professor in marketing, I could not do better than to quote Henry Ford. I'm sure you know Henry Ford, right? Now, failure, according to him, failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. So, do not be afraid to fail or fall. Stick to your dreams and chase it. I hope that your award from the University of Nottingham and the knowledge and skills that you have developed will have a positive impact on your career, as well as enabling you to achieve your personal goals. Many congratulations on your award. I hope you will enjoy the rest of the day with your family members and friends who have supported you in many ways throughout your study. I wish you every success in your future endeavors and careers. Thank you.
Professor Ron, thank you very much for those messages and those awards. This morning we welcome a very distinguished guest who is to receive an honorary degree of this university. I have the pleasure of once again inviting Professor Fonsi Mong to present Yang Bahagia Dato Dr. Afifi Al-Kiti. Fonsi.
Pro-Vice Chancellor and Provost, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to present to you for an honorary degree Dato Dr. Afifi Al-Akiti, also known as Sheikh Afifi, an outstanding scholar and a Privy Councillor to the state of Perak. Born in 1976 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to school teachers Haji Syahari and Haja Salma, Dato Dr. Afifi is the eldest in the family of 5. Following his mother's roving teaching career, He received his early education in the various towns of Selangor before eventually leaving Malaysia altogether to pursue his studies overseas, where he is still based. He is married to Tok Puan Dati Dr. Alma Ramli, and they are blessed with 3 children. He received his pre-university education in Belfast, Northern Ireland, during which time he became imam for the local community. Thereafter, he went to Queen's University, Belfast, to pursue his higher education. He was awarded a first-class degree in scholastic philosophy and history of science in 2001. Dato' Afifi was then awarded various scholarships to read for his master's and doctoral degrees at Oxford. He graduated with a Master of Studies in Philosophical Theology from Oxford University in 2003. His next achievement soon followed, and he was conferred with Doctor of Philosophy in Medieval Arabic Philosophy from Oxford University as a Clarendon Scholar in 2008. Dato' Afifi's expertise is in the field of Islamic theology, philosophy, and science. This is evident from his thesis that identifies and systematically considers for the first time a group of Aristotelian philosophical writings called the Matdun Corpus, attributed to Islam's greatest theologian, Al-Ghazali. Dato' Afifi lectures at the University of Oxford's oldest faculty, the Faculty of Theology and Religion, and is a governing body fellow of Worcester College, Oxford, where he teaches both Islam and Christianity. This appointment is not only a personal achievement for Dato' Afifi, but also for Malaysia, as he is the first Malaysian to be appointed to such a position in Oxford. He is an assistant editor of the flagship journal in his field, the Journal of Islamic Studies, published by Oxford University Press. In Malaysia, he holds the distinguished visiting professorships of University Utara Malaysia, University Science Malaysia, and University Technology Mara. He is also the Kuwait Foundation for the Advancement of Sciences Fellow in Islamic Studies at the world-renowned Oxford Center for Islamic Studies. Dato' Afifi's achievements as a Muslim scholar is again affirmed when he was listed in the 500 most influential Muslims since 2010. In 2009, he was shortlisted for the annual UK Muslim Awards in one of his 15 coveted awards for excellence, the Allama Iqbal Award for Creativity in Islamic Thought. As a Muslim scholar, and in the aftermath of the London bombings in 2005, Dr. Afifi wrote, "Defending the transgressed by censoring the reckless against the killing of civilians," originally published on the internet. Within a month, this hugely popular work was published as a book by AXA Press, Birmingham, and Warda Publications, Hallenthal, Germany, in the same year. The second edition of Defending the Transgressed appeared a year later in the state we are in. Afifi's seminal work was again published as part of the Oxford Amnesty Lectures in 2006 series, War on Terror, edited by Chris Miller, a co-founder of the Oxford Amnesty Lecture Series. In 2010, Dato' Afifi was made a member of the Islamic and Malay Council to the State of Perak by the then Crown Prince of Perak, and now the ruler of Perak, His Royal Highness Sultan Nasrin Shah. Shortly afterwards, in 2012, he became the Orang Kaya Kaya Imam Paduka Tuan as an Orang Besar 8 of Perak, and elected into the Privy Council of the State, the Dewan Negara, or the Council of State, constitutionally as a live peer. To invoke a British analogy, the British could liken Dato' Afifi as the Archbishop of Canterbury to the Sultan of Perak. He serves as a board member of the Maybank Islamic, Marsden Development Limited, Oxford Islamic Finance Limited, Oxford Real Estate Limited, and several non-corporate entities, including on the boards of University Sultan Azlan Shah and the Malaysian Halal Council. In 2011, Dr. Afifi was conferred the Darjah Paduka Mahkota Perak, PMP, and in 2012, he was the sole recipient of the Darjah Datuk Paduka Curah Sri Manjakini, DPCM in Perak, and in 2015, Darjah Datuk Paduka Mahkota Selangor, DPMS, both of which carries the title of Datuk. Among the other lifetime achievement of Dato' Afifi is receiving last year's National Maulidur Rasul Perdana 1439 Hijrah Award, based on his outstanding contributions in promoting Islam peacefully, nationally, and globally. During his little spare time, Dato' Afifi enjoys watching science fiction movies and is a self-avowed Trekkie. Given that he spends a lot of time, at least once a month, on the red-eye flights between Britain and Malaysia, many of us could learn a lot from him about time management and about setting priorities. Apparently, his advice is to spend no more than a third of one's night sleeping, another third in working, and the remaining third in worship and contemplation, while the rest of the day will fall into place. Dato' Afifi's contribution to Islam and Islamic thought through education and through his influence as an outstanding Islamic scholar is immense, making him a valuable and worthy candidate to be nominated for this award. He is a special friend of Nottingham University, and he has the interest of Nottingham very much in his heart. Pro Vice Chancellor and Provost, to you and to the whole congregation, I present Dr. Afifi Al-Akiti as eminently worthy to receive the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
By the authority of the University of Nottingham vested in my office, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. We will now continue with the conferment of degrees and the award of diplomas and certificates. By the authority of the University of Nottingham vested in my office, I admit the candidates presented today and those commended to their degrees, diplomas and certificates in absentia. I call upon Professor Lee Chu Ging to present the graduands in his faculty for their degrees.
Pro Vice Chancellor and Provost, to you and to the congregations, I present these students in my faculty for the following degrees. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, Business, Economic and Finance, Daniel Hafiz Abdul Malik Abuli. Shirley Anna Maria Adrian. Fabian Y. Jun Ao. Chi Hing Chia. Nigel Jeng Bung Chung. Jun Tong Chu. Emil Kamaruzaman Elias. Jia Yi Han. Sakina Jumat. Sanza Kamu Kamel. Zhi Xing Kung. Yang Yi Li. Min Jie Li. Wei Yip Li. Ying Yan Li. Zhe Si Li. Wai Kit Lim. Chin Kiat Lo. Sung Yong Lo. Chandra Rosemary Muela. Kavinder Singh Man, Ranjit Singh Man. Tahanan Fatimah Rashid. Nasru Fikri Rizal. Zhi Xiang Xiu. Chanel Supriyadi. Ka Wai Tan. Shun Jung Tan. Yvonne Teo, Wai Kip Tam, Shun Weng Wong, Shi Ching Wong, Kok San Yap, Adele Pei Yung, Phang Lei Zhang, Business Economic and Management, Onam Vinay Kumar Agarwal, Kevin Kana Jakib, Yi Weng Lo, Kazila Mbuzi, Hafid Rafai Muhammad Ghazali, Win King Tung, Ju Kip Yo, International Business Management, Zulaina Abdul Salam, Muhammad Faris Ahmad Rashidi, Malina Ahmad, Pinita Rajesh Brahmani, Harita Chanuka Damunogola Abdul Hamidari, Yesq Fauma, Layana Ibrahim Farid, Vidushi Fauda, Chiu Ro Hong, Nisa Patricia Joseph, Ihab Muhammad Ashraf. Pavina Nguyenput. Afrin Fatima Pawais Ahmad. Management Cheryl Daniel Cree. Tampanawich Pronton. Lisa and Samuel. For the postgraduate diploma, Business Administration, Jasri Sivalingam. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Azza Izzati Abdul Aziz. Wen Hung Chia. Kenneth Han Ming Chiu. Benjamin Sung Lim Chua. Lei Im Chung. Shanta Helena Ezeling Dokasin. Mui Hui Go. Eric Oliver Morgan. Sapal Singh Suranda Singh. Sung Shen Tan. Su Fei Tan. Yung Jing To. Wai Sam Wong. Jing Wei Yap. Finance, Xiao Eng Chung. Kok Ling Gan. Mahadevan Govinasamy. Kian Hong Ao. Ching Yang. Fa Lun Yap. For the degree of Master of Science, Business and Management, Abdullah Zubair Ahmed. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, Business, Economic and Finance, Yung Hung Lo. Mei Ling Lim. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, Business, Economic and Management, Harith Daniel Rasdan. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, International Business Management, Gina Jung.
Thank you, Chugi. I now call upon Yang Bahagia Dato Fifi Al-Akiti to address the congregation.
Professor Graham Kendall, Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham and Provost of the Malaysian campus, Dato Zainal Abidin, Member of the Board, Professors On and Hall, Vice Provosts, distinguished members of the University, Nottingham graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by thanking the Vice Chancellor on behalf of the Senate for conferring upon me this academic honour, which I humbly accept. Indeed, I cannot begin without saying how honoured and pleased my family and I are with the recognition accorded me by being made an honorarian of this outstanding university, which is the alma mater of famous sons of Malaysia, including the late Sultan Azlan Shah of Perak, as well as famous sons of Britain like D.H. Lawrence and the recent head of MI6, who is not called M apparently in real life, but actually C, as he told me himself. I am truly humbled as I stand before you this morning, simply by remembering those outstanding people. I am deeply touched This degree is a greater recognition, I fear, than I deserve. But certainly, it will spur me to continuing exertions and support me and stimulate me in my efforts. If I can improvise on what John Maynard Keynes once said, what I have to say is intrinsically easy. It is only to an audience of economists and business school graduates that it is difficult. There is no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, that today is a very important day for you who have just graduated. It marks the end of your time as undergraduates, so that now you can look back with pride and satisfaction on achieving your ambitions thus far. I am sure it is also very important for your parents or others of your family and friends who are here to mark this happy and auspicious occasion. And I wish to extend my warmest congratulations to those others who have received degrees this morning along with myself. As we all know, knowledge is important in life. So much so that we have been encouraged to seek knowledge even through difficulties. Although not widely known in the modern West, there is an ancient Eastern culture of seeking knowledge, one which was fueled partly by a religious zeal, encapsulated best in the words attributed to the Muslim Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Itlabu al-ilma walau bis-sin." Seek knowledge even unto the final frontiers of knowledge, which was for him then China. And for all of you today, Nottingham. And if you will permit me to translate this religious idiom into the language of my favorite science fiction universe, to boldly go where no one has gone before. In fact, if I may be so bold, to go further, to start the university career of our fellow Nottingham graduates this morning in a few lines of free verse in Star Trek terms. Dun, 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 dun. Knowledge, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Nottingham graduates. Their 3-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out unfamiliar ideas and unexpected friends, to boldly go where but a few small classes have gone before. Ladies and gentlemen, although university education may have come to a close for many of you, nonetheless, you should never forget the importance of continuing to learn. The famous Malay proverb says, "Seek knowledge till you reach the grave. Tuntutlah ilmu hingga ke liang lahat." We also say knowledge is a lifelong education. Therefore, it cannot be denied that knowledge is the essence of success in life. It is a light, like a beacon, that guides us throughout our life to ensure that we do not trip or fall or make drastic or silly mistakes affecting our lives and those around us. Knowledge makes us think, aiding our common sense and leading us towards wisdom, enabling us to think rationally and hopefully make wise decisions in life. But with knowledge comes realization. The realization, as Hippocrates famously said, that life is short and the art is long. So we should not waste our time complaining, but rather to capitalize and make full use of our short time on this blessed earth. Then there is the realization that knowledge is vast, so vast and wide that some wise old people have given this illustration. If all the trees in the world and pens indeed are pens for writing, and all the water of the oceans is ink, and if these pens write and write till all the pens and ink are finished and used up, there is still a lot more knowledge untouched. So, what we know as human beings is just a pinch of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, no matter how much we feel that we are so knowledgeable and superior to others, we are actually near to nothing. This should make us look down to where we stand on earth and bring ourselves back to reality. Then we should be less proud and more humble. A knowledgeable person is always a humble person. Therefore, knowledge is important in molding our character, making us good people, useful to others, putting others above ourselves, giving helping hands to others and serving people around us. It helps to curb our own egos, control our anger, cut our pride, and nurture us with good manners and good habits, qualities necessary for us to live a good life. Hence, we have to continue to seek knowledge until we leave this world. Tuntutlah ilmu hingga ke liang lahat. And how do we do that, especially when we are no more studying in universities, or perhaps we are busy working for our living? The easiest and the cheapest way, believe it or not, is to read. Iqra, as the Quran reveals, read as much as we can, and we should not limit our reading to just one or two topics only, but to read around our subject on various topics. So we should always be reading at the clinic, at bus stops, and at train stations, or just anywhere we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is neither mandatory nor forbidden to use your education from Nottingham to acquire wealth for yourselves, although I wish you good luck in doing so if you want. However, it is mandatory that you use this education to benefit the broader future of society and the general well-being of humankind and of this planet. It is wonderful to be working in and for our now renewed Malaysia, in which you are the first cohort of graduates, for those of you who will be working here, or to be working elsewhere, and embracing your new world and your lives within it, as well as the life beyond. Good evidence makes it abundantly clear that not only is there a positive economic return from higher education, not least from the subjects in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, but there are also, and must be, greater social benefits in terms of citizenship, political engagement, and charitable volunteering. I myself have had the privilege of being both at the same time an Oxford theologian, as well as a privy councillor to His Royal Highness the Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah. My efforts have been mostly towards building bridges, or sometimes where high visibility is not wanted, towards making tunnels, if I may say so, and certainly not to making walls or fences. Finally, I would like to remind our veterans not to forget where we all come from, our families, our schools, colleges, or the university which indeed where we studied. As the Malay proverb says, kacang jangan lupakan kulit. The sea should not forget the pot. So, from time to time, when you are already working or pursuing further studies, come back to Nottingham University. Visit your teachers and professors and the staff. In the Islamic tradition, we learn from the great medieval Muslim theologian Imam al-Ghazali, who died in that memorable year of 1111, that our parents are our first teachers, and our teachers are our second parents. So Padawans, don't forget your Jedi Masters. Don't forget your Nottingham parents too. And if you happen to be in the United Kingdom, not only visit me in Oxford, of course, but visit your mother university in Nottingham too. I'm sorry if I'm sounding too preachy, Provost. This is what you get when you invite the so-called Archbishop of Canterbury to Sultan Perak. Provost, ladies and gentlemen, I am most honored to receive this Doctor of Laws degree, honoris causa, although I always thought that degree was something for secular lawyers. But a theologian may come close, being something like a lawyer for the next world, I suppose. The conferment of an honorary degree by a university to any individual is a signal honor and the high watermark of his or her achievement in public life. One is filled with joy and an immense sense of satisfaction in joining the Nottingham family, much akin to the gratification one deserves and indeed derives from when parents proudly proclaim that one has done well and has brought credit and honor to the family. In my own case, moreover, it is also a stimulus to continue with renewed energy and confidence in my efforts. And by joining this Nottingham family, I now have a second provost in my life, not only the provost of Worcester College, Oxford, Sir Jonathan Bede, but of course, Provost Graham Campbell. Thank you very much indeed.
I think it's an overused term on these occasions about talking about inspiring words, but I think you actually delivered that in spades there. And it's inspired me actually to come to one of your lectures in Oxford. If you can do that in 10 minutes, I'd love to listen to you for longer. I also think it's probably the only time in the history of University of Nottingham, which is a long history, that someone received an honorary degree as sung the Star Trek theme tune. I think that will go down in University of Nottingham history. The one criticism I would have is I couldn't really work out whether it was the original version or the next generation. You've also said a lot of things that I'm going to say in my concluding remarks about what's expected of our graduates now. You started off, you entered this hall as graduates, you are now graduates. You have a degree from one of the world's top 100 universities, and I would advise you or suggest you that you use it wisely. And make us proud as a university of you, as your friends and family are as proud of you as they are of you today. We'd also ask you to stay in touch. You're part of an alumni now which numbers over 270,000. And in fact, it was this time last year, July last year, that we celebrated, the University of Nottingham celebrated our 10,000th graduate. So you're on the way to pushing up to us towards 15,000, 20,000. But make sure you use that network. You can't go anywhere in the world, or I challenge you to go anywhere in the world where you wouldn't meet someone from Nottingham who's graduated from the University of Nottingham. So you're part of a big family. And I would also ask you to leverage on us. We would like to help you as you develop through your careers. We often get calls from companies, from our alumni, asking us to help them place graduates within their companies, because they want to access or they want to employ University of Nottingham graduates. And I would suggest that you can use that. You can go into your companies when you start work, and you've actually got linked back to a very good university whose graduates are very well sought after, so you can actually use that. You can call on us for internships. We're always trying to place our students into companies, and we get lots of calls from companies. So enable companies that you work for to leverage on us. Enable the companies that you work for to leverage on the world-leading research that we're going. We don't get enough calls from companies asking us about our research and what we can do to help them. And I think that that's partly due to companies don't recognise or know or understand what universities do and what research they can do and how they can contribute to your company. And as we go into the fourth industrial revolution, I think that's even more important if companies want to stay ahead. And you being graduates of the University of Nottingham are in a good position to suggest to your companies that they come and talk to us about our research and how we can help. And you come and give us talks. Come and talk to us, give our students talks. We would be delighted to come and talk to your companies. So I see it very much as a partnership. I would also urge you, as Dr. Fifi said, to give back. It's okay going out in the world and creating lots of money for yourself, and that's to be applauded, and that's one of the reasons I suspect you want a good degree. But give back to your alma mater, give back to us. We would love to see you come and mentor some of our students. We would love to see you come and give lectures, guest lectures at some of the courses that you've taken part in. And the business school in general is well positioned to do that, because you're by definition going to be working in a business, and you can come back and talk to us about case studies and your experience of working in companies. We'd also like you to be an ambassador Hopefully you've enjoyed your time here, and we would urge you to go out and talk about the time you've had here, and encourage people to come and visit us and talk to us. We have many alumni events around the world. We would encourage you to go to those and even organise those if you were so inclined. But overall, we would like you to go out and help people to achieve their ambitions. I'd like to believe that you've got a fantastic start to your industrial career, if that's where you're going to next, with a degree from the University of Nottingham. There's many people who aspire to have the same opportunities that you've received, and I would encourage you to help those people in any way you can. So I consider you some of the greatest minds in the world. You're graduating from the top 100 universities in the world. You had to have high entry grades to get here. So you're some of the greatest minds in the world. You have huge potential. Please use that for the greater good. Don't just use it for your own advantage. Help those around you. As I said, you've leveraged on us, and we would urge you to leverage on us now. And I would end these remarks by just saying you're never leaving university. We've just developed now into another type of relationship. You were graduands, you're now graduates. We want to see you go through the rest of your career. We want to know what you're doing. We want to be proud of you. As I say, your friends and family, as proud as they are of you today. Finally, I would like all our graduates to stand up, and I'd like you to put your things on your chairs, because you're going to need your hands. And I'd like you to turn to your left, so I have to work that out. So these are all of our graduates, and sitting at the back of the room and over on this side, on my right, are all the people that have supported you both emotionally and financially over the last 1, 2, 3, maybe more years. So I would like now to give you the opportunity to thank all of the people that have supported you in the traditional fashion. Too well, actually, because there was a bit of a hesitation, and I said you could use your hands. You can also verbalise your thanks. So I'd like to give you one more opportunity to say thank you to the people on this side of the room. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So I now declare this congregation closed. Please remain standing, and please stand for the rest of the congregation while the national anthems of the United Kingdom and Malaysia are played.
Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, please be seated. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Professor Cheryl West, and Professor Graham Kendall, Provost and CEO of the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for your kind presence at this graduation ceremony. To our guests, please join us for the buffet reception after this. Please remember to present your tickets to the ushers before entering the buffet area. For your kind information, the reception will be served until 1 p.m. Thank you all for making this event a joyous and memorable one for the graduates and their families. Thank you and have a good afternoon.